Most producers use the FL Studio sampler just to load sounds, but there are a few features inside that can completely change how your drums, samples, 808s, and melodies feel. And I wish I understood these earlier, because the reason that your beat sounds stiff, out of tune, or not quite as polished might not be sound selection. It's that you're not using the small tools inside the sampler to make a big difference. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 more things that I wish I knew about the FL Studio sampler in the very beginning. Make sure you stay tuned to the very end of this video because you're definitely going to be using these gems each time you cook up a beat. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, the first thing I'm going to show you is how to glide your bass. So I have a bass sound right here in the sampler. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little wrench icon. Now once we're here, we're going to go to max and we're going to change this to 1. Okay. After we change max to 1, we want to make sure we click on Porta and we want to make sure we click on Mono. So this is going to allow us to play the bass. Okay, so we're playing the bass now. And then what we can do is we can actually move this slide knob. So we can go ahead and slide this up. Now what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to make it a little more dramatic so you guys can really get the example. So that's pretty cool sounding, you know, to some people that might be super basic, but if you have a lot of different sounds in your library, especially bass sounds, you can even do this with, you know, instrument sounds, things like that, other types of one-shots. It's really cool to bend your bass sound so everything is not really static and rigid. Even just certain parts of your instrumental, just doing certain types of bass slides and bass bending can really be interesting and really give you some cool, interesting effects whenever you're producing your beat. So this is one feature that I wish I knew in the very beginning. It took me quite a while to figure out what this was and how to really get this right. So this is a great tip. I want you guys to use this in your next production so you can have some more interesting sounds next time you cook up a beat. All right, and the second thing that I wish I knew about the FL Studio sampler in the very beginning is that I can edit my sounds right here in the sampler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and right click right here. Then I'm going to go to edit an audio editor. And this is going to take us to Edison, which is of course FL Studio's dedicated audio editor. I can just go ahead and highlight if I want to get rid of some of this dead space at the very end. Then I'm just going to go ahead and right click. Then we're going to go to edit and then trim. And then once I go to trim, you can see here that I have this bass sound and everything is all together. Now, what I can do is just go ahead and click on this right here. Go ahead and drag it right here in the FL Studio sampler. And now we have the new corrected audio file here. Sometimes whenever we're working with different sounds, whether they're one-shot kits or kits we get from different content creators or companies, sometimes there's just one little thing that we want to go ahead and fix to just really tighten everything up in our production. And of course, in the sampler, we have our out that we can go ahead and tighten things up even more. Just a couple of little tweaks right here in the FL Studio sampler so you can really dial in your sounds without going all over the place. So this is a really quick way, real easy way to edit your sound here in FL Studio. I wish I knew this in the very beginning. Now you have this tip and you can use it on your next beat. All right, and the third thing I wish I knew about the FL Studio sampler in the very beginning is changing the pitch range. So what do I mean by that? So if we look right here in the FL Studio sampler, we have pitch here. So we can go ahead and change things up and down and we can go ahead and play this rim shot, right? Now, if we go ahead and change the pitch range, I'm going to change it from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. I'm going to go ahead and move it down now. You can see the range is much broader and the number here represents the cents. So if I go ahead and do 12 cents here, that's going to be an entire octave. So for all you producers out there who are having issues getting your 808s in key, you can, of course, go all the way. You would actually go up an octave. So You go 12 and then go ahead and pitch everything up. 12 is going to represent 1 octave. I used to think that I had to do everything in the piano roll. I didn't know about this pitch range. It was just actually something I would kind of ignore and play around with a little bit, but I didn't know the full scope of it. So guys, if you're out there, you got your different sounds, your drum sounds. One thing that one of my mentors taught me is to tweak your drums to the tone and the sound of the beat. I used to just use a lot of my drums just fresh out the package, but kind of pitching things down a little bit, pitching things up a little bit, getting things more musical to the beat. That's definitely going to help you guys out a lot. So this is a multifunctional thing right here in FL Studio. A lot of you guys look over it. I used to look over it as well. Now you have this gem and you can use it in your next beat. All right, and the fourth thing that I wish I knew about the FL Studio sampler in the very beginning is how to use note release. So what is note release? So whenever we have drum machines like the MPC, you can do something where you hit the pad, and as soon as you let go of the pad, the sound automatically stops. And that's a pretty cool thing whenever you're working with different drums, different samples, and things of that nature. And you can do that same thing right here in FL Studio. So let me show you how we're going to go ahead and do this. So right now I have a standard 808 going. Nice, cool 808. But let's say I want to do note release so things just stop as soon as I let go. What we're going to do here is we're going to go to this ATT knob. So we're going to change this all the way to the right. We're going to take this release. We're going to put this all the way in. We're going to go ahead and have with the sustain, we're going to push it all the way up. So what we're going to do is we're essentially making like a little box here. And I just like to pull the hold over just a little bit, just to move it over. And we're going to have this nice little box here. So once we have this nice little box, as soon as I let go of the key, pretty cool. That's something that I like to do, especially if I'm mixing multiple bass sounds. Sometimes I want to have a Moog bass going, and then as soon as I'm done with the Moog bass playing, I just want to hit the subwoofer of the speaker. I just want to hit a... And then as soon as that's done, I want the Moog bass to come right back in. And I don't want to deal with having to worry about the sounds overlapping on top of each other. That's really annoying, that real weird wobbly sound. So right here in the FL Studio sampler, you could just do this, set the envelope up just like this, like we see right here under volume. As soon as you let go, the sound stops and you can make some really, really cool sounds. So guys, I want you to experiment, try different things out. FL Studio gives you all the features that you need. I know a lot of people are dropping drum machines and all kinds of new programs, but man, FL Studio still reigns supreme for a reason. Use this tip in your next production, and I'm telling you, you're going to be thoroughly impressed. All right, and the fifth thing that I wish I knew about the FL Studio sampler in the very beginning is normalizing. So right here underneath pre-computed effects, we can see this normalize button right here. But for the longest time, I really didn't use it. I kind of just overlooked it. What I would actually do is just really kind of chase my tail using this volume knob right here, or even clicking on this wrench icon and using the volume knob right here, just kind of pushing everything up, trying to get the volume right. But what we can do here in FL Studio is just go ahead and click on Normalize, so we can get this snare that's normally pretty quiet for you know, our modern standards. Click on Normalize. Then we have the sound right where it needs to be. And normalizing gets the sound from where it currently is all the way up to right before it actually clips. So this is a great way to easily get your sounds leveled. So if you're cooking up a beat and you notice right here in the sampler, you know, the hi-hat's kind of quiet, the kick is kind of quiet, before you go through and use all the volume knobs and boosting and wasting all kinds of times. And you might even start clipping things that don't really need to be clipped by using the boost knob and clipping and all that kind of stuff. Before you do that, just get the volume right by getting the loudness right, and you could do that easily with the normalize button right here. So guys, this is something that I wish I knew in the very beginning, something I overlooked. It was literally right in front of me. I just was doing whatever, chasing my tail. You know, FL Studio has a ton of different volume knobs literally all over the platform. So now you have this tool. You can use it on your next beat, and you can use it to help you cook up some fire. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe. My name is Desmond A, and I'll be back with more great videos. Peace. Wait, before you go, make sure you go to DesmondASounds.com where you can get free FL Studio Patcher plugins, free loops, free guides, everything you need to level up your music production. Once again, go to DesmondASounds.com or click the link in the description. Go there now and totally transform your music production.